sheet pan dinners. That is what I have to share with you guys today. So let's go ahead and just get right into them because they were all fantastic. Breakfast is served and my kids can't wait to dig in. I've got my oven at preheating to 400 degrees and my 20-ounce bag of hash browns that I did thaw in the fridge overnight. They are all spread out in a single layer on my baking sheet. Now we're going to add some seasonings. So I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter that I'm just going to pour on top. And then I'm not going to measure, but maybe a tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil, which is what I'm using, but olive oil is just fine. And as for my seasonings, you could use Italian seasoning. That would work great. I already have all of these extra seasonings, so that's just what I'm going to use. So I'm going to sprinkle in some thyme leaves, maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm just going to kind of go over the top here. And then some basil, oregano, and garlic powder. You can add salt and pepper to taste, so I'm just gonna take maybe a pinch and a half of salt and a decent size pinch of pepper. So for this part, wash your hands first, obviously, or you can use a spoon, but I'm just going to mix all the oil and butter and seasonings into my hash browns. This is definitely pretty messy if you choose to use your hands. But I don't prefer to do dishes, so whenever I can save by, doing something a little different, that is what I do. All right, so once you've got that mixed up, it doesn't really take much time at all. You're just going to spread them out again as best you can in a single layer, just so they cook better. All right, and now you're going to add a cup of cheese. Just sprinkle it over the top as evenly as possible, and you can use whatever kind of cheese. I happen to have some sharp cheddar cheese that was already shredded left over from a previous recipe, so that is what I am using. Into the oven this goes for 20 to 25 minutes. I left mine in for 25 minutes. I really just watched the cheese and the edges for them to brown, so the hash browns are getting pretty crispy. I just took the back of a spoon and I made a little mark 6 times right here in the hash browns, just kind of like a small well, and that is where my eggs are going to sit. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt on each egg and a little bit of pepper. We are huge cheese lovers, so I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of the eggs. Keep your yolk intact. It's gonna make it nice and yummy. I'm going to get this back in the oven. If you wanted to add bacon, you totally could. My oldest daughter prefers not to eat meat, so I am not going to be adding that. But if you did add bacon, I would cook it for 10 to 12 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. I'm going to put it in for 6 to 8. I'm just going to watch my eggs. I don't want them to overcook. Okay, it is done. I've already made 1 plate. We have some microwavable bacon that is perfect for my kids in the morning during the school week. So since my oldest daughter prefers not to eat bacon, I did go ahead and cook some of that up for the side for the kids that do enjoy bacon. But look at that. It is so good, so easy, and we are a family of 6. So that is why I did the 6 eggs, but you could put however many eggs on there that you wanted. Oh, okay, I need to leave you guys and get everybody's plates ready so we can eat some breakfast. Oh, I wish smell-o-vision was a thing because I am definitely one for roasted veggies. My potatoes are cut into small little bite-sized pieces, and I have seasoned them with my 4. So I used olive oil, salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. I did not measure. I just kind of sprinkled it all over here. My oven is preheated to 425 degrees, and these potatoes need a head start before we add anything else. So I'm just going to toss them all on here, make sure they are spread out, and we are going to give them a head start on cooking by putting them in the oven first for 10 minutes. Okay, while my potatoes have been cooking, I went ahead and added 2 cups of broccoli to the same bowl. I cut up 2 links, which was 1 package of some turkey sausage, and then I cut up 1 red bell pepper. Now I'm going to add the same seasonings and oil that I did to the potatoes. So I'm just pouring in some olive oil, a medium-sized pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper, and some of the Italian seasoning. All right, I'm just gonna use my spoon here and mix that all together. That way that seasoning and oil can coat every piece. This is going back in the oven for 15 minutes. All right, dinner is ready. My potatoes are nice and fork tender, and the kids are chomping at the bit. They want to eat. I just love these flavors together with the Italian seasoning. So yummy. This turned out perfect. If you have never tried a chocolate Texas sheet cake, you're definitely going to want to try this one. We're gonna start off by preheating our oven to 400 degrees. And in my KitchenAid, I have 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar that I'm just going to mix together. We have moved to the stove top, and I am going to put in 1 stick or half a cup of butter. I'm also going to add half a cup of shortening. 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and 1 cup of water. I'm gonna put this on medium heat and let it come to a light boil. While we are waiting for everything in our saucepan to come to a boil, I have a small bowl here, and to it I am adding half a cup of buttermilk. If you do not have buttermilk, you can add 1 tablespoon of vinegar to half a cup of milk, 2 eggs lightly beaten, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Our cocoa mixture is trying to boil over. It's all melted. I turned the heat off. Back to our bowl. We're just gonna whisk all of this together. Pouring our cocoa mixture into the flour and sugar and mixing that together. Now we're adding our buttermilk and egg mixture, and we're going to let that stir until it is all combined. All right, I have a large cookie sheet here that I am going to spray. Whatever cooking spray you like to use. I'm using an avocado oil spray. And you're just going to pour your prepared batter all over your cookie sheet. We are going to bake this in our preheated 400 degree oven for 20 minutes. The cake has 5 minutes left, so we're going to start on the frosting, and I like to save on dishes, so I'm using the same pan. They're the same pot. So that is what I use to mix up the cocoa mixture. I'm gonna use 3.5 cups of powdered sugar, or if you wanna just buy a 1 pound bag, you can do that. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 tablespoons of cocoa butter, another 1 stick or half a cup of butter, and 6 tablespoons of milk. So I've got the milk, butter, and cocoa powder in my saucepan, and I'm just cutting up the butter with my spoon just to let it melt a little faster. I'm gonna let these 3 ingredients come to a soft boil. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat off. because everything has melted. And before I add the other 2 ingredients, my cake beeped, so that's done. So while this is still warm, let's add our 1 teaspoon of vanilla and our powdered sugar. I'm just gonna whisk all of this until it is nice and smooth. And while your icing or frosting and cake are still warm, go ahead and pour that all over the top. You can just take the back of a spoon and spread that out. So this next part is totally up to you. You can go ahead and cut into it right now while it is still warm and it's ooey and gooey. However, we prefer it cold. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and let the frosting set, and then we are going to cut it up into pieces for us to enjoy. All right, the kids couldn't wait very long, but the icing has set, and oh my gosh, this is so yummy. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed those sheet pan dinners, recipes. There's plenty of breakfast options as well, like I shared one, but I have so many more that I would love to share. I'm gonna have another one next month for you guys, but in the meantime, I will pop a video right up here if you guys want to check that out, more delicious recipes. If you're new, I would love for you guys to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.